everyone, welcome to the front row. In this video, we're going to talk about the importance of stretching out your hips, especially if you've got some tightness or pain, and specifically a muscle called the piriformis. All right, let's get started. So if this is your first video, welcome to the channel. My name is Ed DeBoo, physical therapist out of Bellingham, Washington, Integrated Physical Therapy. So I'm 52 years old, and I understand how I need to change my workout as I get older. Almost like a switch went off when I turned 50, and things just became, I'll be honest, a little bit more challenging to do. In fact, Elizabeth and I are starting a whole nother membership website called Live Well 50, and it's not launched yet, but it's dedicated to helping people like us, over 50, age successfully and age strong. And one of the things that we have to take care of is mobility issues, and especially tightness of the hip. We get a lot of our dynamic motion from our hips, and so keeping the hips mobile and stretched is very important. On Live Well 50, we're going to have multiple contributors, and in this video, you're going to meet Jeffrey Knight. And Jeffrey's the guy to go to for anything posture or stretch related. And he's going to walk us through stretching of the piriformis muscle. Now, on the website, Live Well 50, there's going to be a total of 3 ways in which Jeffrey is showing us how to stretch the piriformis. However, in this video, there's just going to be one that he's demonstrating. And if you're interested, there's going to be a link down below in the comments for you to join up and get on the email list for Live Well 50. So when we do launch, which is hopefully going to be in maybe January, February of 2021, you're going to make sure you get that founders member discount as well too. All right, Jeffrey, take it away.
Hello everybody, welcome to Live Well 50. I'm Jeffrey, and I'm going to be taking you through a posture and stretch therapy routine today. We are going to stretch out a muscle called the piriformis muscle. I'm going to put a picture of it up here on the screen for you. Now, as you can see, it attaches to the greater trochanter, which is right on the hip, and it wraps around the back of the hip towards the sacrum. Now, if this muscle is tight, it can produce what is called Piriformis Syndrome, which means that the muscle can kind of clamp down right on the nerve, so to speak, and impinge that muscle and create some nerve sensations down the thigh, down to the calf, maybe down into the foot. So if this has been an issue that you've had in the past, the stretch can certainly help you out. We're also going to learn how to stretch the piriformis from one side of the attachment point to the other. So when we get into these stretches today, make sure that that the sensations you produce are very gentle and easy. We don't want to push ourselves into flexibility. One of the basic tenets is you cannot force yourself to be flexible. And so this would be a great example of trying how not to do that. All right. We're going to be using the contract relax method today, which means that when we get ourselves into the stretch pose, after about 30 to 45 seconds, we're going to add an isometric contraction to the experience. And what that's going to do is it's going to allow us to produce what we call a post-contraction reflex, which means that after the initial contraction is done, we relax the muscle, and over a brief period of time, our muscle will be able to open up just a little bit further, or a little bit more. Okay? And we call that getting into the stretch. And so that's going to be our experience today, and hopefully we can help bring some grace and ease into our hips. Another couple of things about the piriformis: it can prevent forward bending at the hips, right? And it can also affect our gait too. If the piriformis is tight, it can laterally rotate the feet outward, which can produce some discomfort that way as well. So now we're going to put our body in a pose that's going to emphasize the stretch from the sacral end. So if you remember that picture we showed at the beginning, attach it to the hip and across the buttocks over towards the sacrum. Now we're going to be emphasizing the stretch from that sacral end. What you're going to need is a bolster, maybe something like this, or a rolled up mat, something maybe get the hips up off the floor a little bit. If you're already flexible enough and you don't need a bolster, you can just go ahead and do this directly on the floor. So here we go. We're going to take our bolster or cushion, whatever we have, and place it on a position like this. And then we're just going to go ahead and have a seat on the bolster. Okay? So my hips are down the center. Okay? And then my knee is right down the center of the other end. Okay? I want a right angle at that front knee. That's the most crucial part. Okay? So here we go. So we're going to lean forward. Okay? And let's take this other leg. I'm stretching my right piriformis, by the way. Take your left leg as far back as you can go. Here we go. And then we go ahead and I'm going to lift that chest back up just a little bit more. Then I'm going to take my left hip and square my left hip forward. And that's going to start to produce that stretch in the back of your right hip. And that's where that piriformis is. Okay? And once we square that left hip forward, we shift our rib cage over to the left. There we go. And now we are breathing. Breathing into the belly. And again, make yourself as comfortable as possible here. You can do this if you have, this is too close to the floor, you can sit up on the couch and position yourself here with this left leg on the floor. That'll work perfect. So here we go. We're going to contract our piriformis, pressing your right ankle straight down into the floor. Think of it as a sweeping motion through the floor, if you will. Good. And holding that for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, that right leg goes soft. All the effort in the body now dissipates. Breathe into the belly. And as you exhale, can you square the left hip forward just a little bit more? Just a little. And breathe. And now let's contract one more time. Slowly start to press your right ankle down through the floor, that sweeping motion, and holding your effort for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And let the right leg go soft. Breathing into your belly. And as you exhale, can we relax deeper? Good. Right, soften the spine a little bit. Soften the shoulders. And when you're ready, use your arms to slowly lift the chest off the thigh. And let's go ahead and straighten that leg out and shake it around. Good. All right, let's go ahead and set it up for the other side. So here, take my left hip on the bolster. There we go. So we have that left knee poking straight out the center, right angle at the left knee, slumping forward. I'm going to reach my right leg as far back as I can go now. There we go. I breathe in. And as I exhale, can I square the right hip forward? There we go. So now you can see on this side, this is the sacral end right in here. That's where I'm looking to feel my stretch. Now, if you feel the stretch in other parts of your body, say for example the inner thigh or the hip flexors on my right side here, if you're feeling other muscles getting in the way, that's also a diagnosis. Is that it just lets you know where your body is tight and it might need a little work in those areas. So it's an interesting thing is that the posture and stretch therapy It's a diagnosis as well as a treatment. It lets us know where we are tight in our bodies, and then we can go ahead and use that information and address it. Good. So let's do our first contraction. I'm pressing this left ankle right down through the floor. And that sweeping motion, holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then go soft. Good. You square that right hip forward a little bit more. You're breathing in. And as you exhale, there we go. Contracting one more time, pressing that left ankle down through the floor, holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and allowing your body to soften. Breathing in deeply, and as you exhale, good. Can you relax more? Feel free to move around. Be curious what happens if you undulate the body left or right, up or down. Good. And there we are. Good. And let's go ahead and slowly use other parts of our body to bring ourselves out of the stretch. Go. And one more time, I'd like you to go ahead and stand up, walk around, and then meet me back here. Welcome back. I hope those stretches felt yummy for you today. I briefly want to talk about how often to do these stretches with the contract relax method. Believe it or not, they're only done twice a week. Say if you start on a Monday, you do your stretches, your contract relax. Now you would do just either one of the 3 that I showed today, by the way. So you would do your stretch with the contract relax method. Okay. The next day you would take a break. Okay. The day after that you would take a break, and then one more day of a break. Good. And then 3 or 4 days later you do your contract relax stretches again. And there you are. Now you do have the option of doing limbering stretches on the off days. And a limbering stretch is best described by getting into a stretch, say for example, a mermaid, holding the stretch for as long as you feel comfortable, and then you bring yourself back out. And that's the extent of a limbering stretch, as compared to the contract relax that we added that isometric contraction. Okay? So that's the best way for these stretches to be performed. And over time, you'll just notice your flexibility start to open up, and it's just an amazing process. Well, thank you for joining me today here at Live Well 50.
All right, hope you found this stretch helpful. If you have any questions, please leave it down below. Remember to go over to our landing page on Live Well 50, enter your email address, and make sure you get that big, steep founding member discount. All right, take care. Until next time.